Hello Sagittarius, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Sagittarius for the week of May 30th. Now Sagittarius, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now, I do not offer personal readings and I will not send you a message on any platform. So if you get a message, that's not me. Do not get scammed. But let's go ahead and see what we have here for you, Sagittarius. Now I am using the Psychic Tarot as well as the Kipper Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below. I also ask that you hit the like button and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow in a big way. But more importantly, hitting the like button does ensure that other people who may need to see these messages have an opportunity to do so. All right. Let's go ahead and make sure we're all set up and in view here. I'll go ahead and put this up here. All right, and then we'll also take 3 of these Kipper cards to clarify as we go along. Okay. I think we're all ready. All right. So, Sagittarius. There's something coming back in here in the future for you to review in your life. And I'll be interested to see what this might be for you. But there's definitely something here in the future that's going to come in to act as a test for you. And just know that the universe sends you tests all the time. Part of the experience here. And yeah, just to be aware of that. I'll go ahead and clarify that more as we go along. But in the past, there's been this interesting revelation, and I think if I'm looking at this correctly, in this first 5 cards here, I think whatever has happened, whatever revelation here has happened in the past, is going to come back in for review in the future, and we'll talk about this more. But in the overall situation, you have the 4 of Wands, which is the Foundations and Achievements card, and you know, this, you can see the young family here, really just kind of proud all together and enjoying the sort of future that they all have together. As you see the rainbow here above the house. And you know, the 4 of Wands is a card of marriage. It is a card of sort of setting down roots, laying down roots, you know, building something together, building something for the long haul. And this is not just about family planning or family building. It is also about building something in your career, if that is something that's more in alignment for you. This is just this general idea of putting down a firm foundation or a strong foundation in your life, and enjoying the achievements that you have now, as well as the achievements that are to come in the future. And so 4 of Wands, really nice energy. Now in the past, you have the Ace of Cups here and the Tower. So there is something, you know, it's interesting. If I'm just, you know, the Ace of Cups and the Tower, it's interesting because the Tower could be a surprise. It could be something that catches you off guard, is obviously a disruption. Really, Towers are blessings in disguise. And the reason being is it gets us out of this stuck sort of energy, this challenging energy that we may be stuck in. And it allows us to move forward towards something else. And so on one hand, it's a blessing in disguise. Another hand, it does maybe talk about sudden change or abrupt change, upheavals, or disruptions. But you could also just call those, everything I described there, a surprise. Okay, and so where I'm getting at here is you have that surprise energy with the Ace of Cups. And so it's almost like some of you, I'm getting like one of 2 stories. Some of you may have gone through a challenging situation which then brought love into your life. Or some of you here have potentially found somebody when you weren't expecting to find somebody, right? And so on one hand, it's like for some of you, it's like it's like you found somebody that you weren't expecting to find somebody. And you know, it's interesting because sometimes that happens. It's like when we say, okay, I'm done with love, then the love comes in. And the reason for that is energetically, is we let go of when we say we're done with something, we let go of the attachment. And attachments are going to hold us back many times from accomplishing what we want. And so many people are like, okay, I need to find my relationship now. It needs to go this way. I need to use this dating app. I need to go, like, right? We have these attachments. We have these like ways that we feel like we need love to go. And then we realize that that's not really how love works. And so as soon as you let go and you come to that realization, that understanding, the person comes in, right? The reason why I don't feel like this is doom and gloom in a relationship is because you have foundations and achievements in the middle. Although it could be wrong, we always go through and clarify as we go along. It's kind of an interesting first 5 cards here in that there could be so many different things to go. So let's just dive into this a little bit more. So in the future here, we have the 8 of Cups and the Devil. So this is where the wrench is being thrown for me, because I've laid out the scenarios here in the past. This is so far being a love reading. But yeah, I try to bring in messages for career and finance, but this is so far a love reading. But this is where the wrench is sort of being thrown here, because we see you walking away. The 8 of Cups is emotional withdrawal in this case, but really the 8 of Cups for me is a card of empowerment. It's a card of walking away from situations that don't work, that are no longer in alignment. I guess I did sort of say that in the beginning here, which is like, as you've sort of dropped the need to have an attachment to how love is supposed to look, right? But we're looking at the you found love, but we're looking here in the future. So we have this emotional withdrawal with a temptation card, and in the future we see you walking away from something, and this may be around this temptation card, which is the devil. The devil in the tarot is about a shadow that we all have to work through. It's some type of perhaps habit, some type of pattern, some type of negative energy or negative thought that we have going on in our lives. If anything, I see you walking away from that. And remember, I said at the very beginning of this reading, in the future, there's going to be something that comes back in to test you. Okay, and so what I like is that we see the test coming in here with the devil, but we also see you walking away with the 8 of Cups. And so if anything, I see you passing the test here in the future. Let's see what that test might be about. All right, kind of a convoluted message so far, but let's just see if we can get some more clarity here. So you have the Star, you have the Strength card, you have the Ace of Cups, or sorry, the Ace of Pentacles, amazing, and you have the Solar Plexus. Okay, so, all right, there's a serious test of your willpower. The test is around, it's like, it's a serious test of willpower here coming in, because you have the solar plexus. Solar plexus chakra is right in your abdomen area, and that is your power center. That is where you derive, that is one of the major areas where you have willpower and where you have strength. You also have the Strength card here, the Power card. So there is an issue of power, strength, willpower, fortitude, all of those types of energies that is going to be extremely important for you here in the future. It's so if we look here, some of you are looking to get something off the ground, and we do get some career messages here with this Prosperity Begins, which is the Ace of Pentacles. You can see the seed energy being planted into the ground here. The seed obviously grows into a tree, and the tree then provides harvest for you and for others. And so what could be going on here is some of you, for whatever reason, that song that, for whatever reason, you've been trying to get something off the ground and you've been getting knocked down. That song that came into my mind was Get Knocked Down and Get Back Up Again. It's like Frank Sinatra. Get Knocked Down and Get Back Up Again is what I keep hearing. It's like the Frank Sinatra song. That's Life. I think it's from the song That's Life. Yeah, That's Life. And it's almost like for some of you, it's like you've been trying to, you've planted the seed, and for whatever reason, it's just like it has not grown yet. It has not grown yet. And this is where the test is coming in for you. I think particularly if you are here for career or work. This is about getting something off the ground. In the past, we see the Star, which is the Hope card. Anytime I get the Tower and the Star in a reading together, those cards come one after the other, 16 and 17. It's always a good sign when you get this combination. The Star provides healing, optimism, hope, on the horizon after the upheaval and change of the tower. The star also represents a wish being granted. It's a major card of kind of healing as well, and synchronicity signs from the universe. You have this power card, which is the strength card. The thing is, the strength card is about willpower, which we've talked about heavily here in this reading, especially as you have this temptation energy with the double. But the strength card is about overcoming an internal obstacle. Okay, some of you have been looking to get something off the ground here, and for some of you it may be in love, it may be around like attracting a long-term partnership or a long-term relationship, and for others of you this is around like a business idea that you've been looking to launch. I'm getting the word launch. Launch might be coming in for some of you as well here. And so let's go ahead, let's see what these 3 Kipper cards are. So you have bad health, distant horizons, and imprisonment. Some of you are trapped in your work, okay? Some of you are trapped in your work here. Bad health I never read as like illness, ailments, injuries. I just don't read that. And actually, one of the definitions for the star card is if you've been nursing an injury or an illness, it can bring healing to that area. But I don't really like to go there in my readings. But you know, I view this as the health of a situation. And if anything, some of you are overworking, because the devil card can bring about issues around overwork or an addiction to work. But you do have this distant horizons here, good times ahead. The distant horizons card is a very good card. The imprisonment for you is about this bad health situation related to work. Okay, is what I feel like. Some of you may feel trapped in whatever it is that you do, whether you work for somebody or you're self-employed. It's like I see you working, like there's a whole lot of work here. And it's almost like some of you may need to like go to the beach, or like not literally, some of you may not want to go to the beach, but it's like some of you may need to take a vacation or something along those lines, or some of you may need to take breaks here in the future. This is what I feel like is what's coming back in for some of you. Let's go ahead and let's see what else we have here. You have the Judgment card. You have, the 8 of Swords. And you have the 2 of Swords. I should also say, you know, some of you, if you're single, I think I'm mostly talking to single Sagittarius people here. If you're here for love, could be wrong, but I do feel like I'm talking to mostly single. Some of you may need to take like breaks from the apps, from like if you're on like the dating apps, like that also may be coming. There's something around a break here that needs to be had because of this bad health imprisonment energy. You have this trapped in fear mental conflict. The trapped in fear, both of these cards refer to your thought process. Both of these cards represent, 8 of Swords, 2 of Swords represent being blinded in an area of your life, not being able to exactly see the road ahead, but knowing that there is a road ahead. The thing is, the trapped in fear card in particular is about you being stuck in your mental process, okay? Being stuck in self-limiting beliefs. And again, we have this energy here around, very, very strong energy around the solar plexus willpower type of energy, where, you know, I'm going to be totally real with you, the negative thoughts may come back in. The negative thoughts may come back in because you have this test that is showing up from the universe here. And if it's not a negative thought, it's like a mental conflict around like work and love, career, and like work-life boundaries. Like this issue may come back in, okay? So you have this judgment energy with it, which, by the way, all 3 of these cards here are very logical cards, okay? This is not in the intuitive here. This is about logic. The truth card asks you to find the truth of a scenario. The judgment card asks you to find the truth of a scenario. Take all of the facts and put them on the table and ask yourself what's working, what's not working. What is the truth right now as it relates to this context that we're looking at here? And it is a card of karma as well. It does say that the actions that you've taken are rendering out in real time. Remember, this is logic. This is not about the intuitive side of life or the emotional side of life. This is A and B, right? What are the facts? And so let's see what else we have here. You have the 5 of Pentacles, and you have the Ace of Swords. Okay, so, you know, there may be something around your security here. Remember, we have this foundations, 4 of Wands, and achievements at the base of the pyramid here. And, you know, this in one way can be around security it maybe financially here. Now this financial and material changes is showing up in the past. For some of you, there may have been a change in money or something like that here with the Tower, or there may have been a revelation around money or around something like that here with this energy. And so it's almost like for some of you, I think if there's overwork happening, it's because of your need to create security or to probably not establish security, but to keep, to maintain security. Yeah, to maintain security is what I'm kind of feeling. And then you have this Ace of Swords. The thing is, there is a huge victory here. You are getting kind of free of these negative thoughts, these self-limiting beliefs here. With the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Swords is a big victory. So what, we have 3 aces now, 3 of the 4 aces, which is incredible to find in a tarot reading. And so you are breaking free of whatever's going on here. You are passing the test. At the top of the pyramid, you have solitude. Okay, some of you are going to spend some time on your own here to figure out where you need to go from here. And the solitude card is really about just not spending time alone, but it's also about like becoming a master and becoming wise and becoming a sage in one's life. And I definitely feel like there is master energy here, especially because masters must pass tests, right? And there, as I've talked about this entire time, there is a test coming. On the bottom of the deck, you have the 3 of Pentacles, recognition and reward. I definitely feel like you will look back after this period of time and say, wow, I'm really glad that I stuck to my gut feeling. I'm really glad that I had the willpower to work through something. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. I will see you in the next reading.